everyone, welcome to another video of Movie Madness with Maka B. And we're reviewing, real quick, the newest Ghostbusters, Afterlife. Gotta admit, pretty decent film. I wasn't 100% certain I was going to enjoy it when I went into it. Then because I've seen the first two, and most, probably not all, but most of the 2016 one. And while they were enjoyable, and I liked the character designs and things for the Ghostbusters and a lot of the ghosts involved, I wasn't massively captivated by the originals. That's just, for me, I think I've seen a lot of different films, so given the fact that I saw those literally decades, 30 plus years, I mean, for example, the first Ghostbusters, I only actually watched that for the first time earlier this year. Seen clips and stuff, but the first time I saw the whole film was earlier this year. 35, 6, however many bloody years since it came out. But yeah, I went into this one expecting fantasy and sci-fi and all the usual tropes. Not a lot more, but quite honestly, it was very enjoyable to watch. Paul Rudd wasn't in as much of the film as I had hoped. But what we did get from him, we got was the standard, exactly what we expect on a comedic level with Rudd. Definitely played a character well akin to the type that he is, best known for. I think he slips the jokes in at the right moments. I think the odd element of seriousness when required, definitely given. So overall, yeah, his performance rated, can't complain, no issues. Then we've got two newer talents to the business with McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard. Both of them solid performances. Wolfhard playing kind of your typical or stereotypical teen outcast kind of feeling, and that crush at first sight, seeing a pretty girl, all that stuff. It gives the right level of awkwardness. He's obviously in the right age range to help with that. It gives us exactly what we want to see. And then when it comes down to, really getting to business, we get to see this, the right amount of seriousness. We get to see kind of like Mike from Stranger Things coming back, take control when necessary, give us an emotional but exciting performance at the same time. Can't complain. Absolutely stellar. McKenna Grace, hell of a talent. Like, she's going to do big things in Hollywood as she grows up and matures in the industry. Absolutely fantastic. She's playing she's even more of an outcast than what her character brother is in this one. She nails everything, the whole scientific mind, like young Sheldon. She's in Young Sheldon as well, and she has that kind of mentality, that child genius with an aptitude for that kind of thing. And just plays to absolute perfection. Loved every minute of what they offered us. There were bits and pieces in the film for me that were probably a little too long or a little bit unnecessary, but it did one of those rare things where for the first half was, introducing the characters and origins and, giving us the backstory of how it connects to the rest of the franchise and whatnot. A lot of films, they can kind of overdo it and only focus really on the boring elements. But I think for this one, it hit each stage, each introduction with backstory and everything at just the right pace with just the right amount of information and just the right amount of entertainment to make it so that the film flowed, so that when we got to the really entertaining bits and we started to see the progression of the characters and things later on in the movie, we had enough backstory to understand how they got to that point and to respect and enjoy the journey for ourselves, to be honest. I think that's probably the best way to say that. If I was going to give this film a rating, because, I like to do that on the channel when I can, I'd say I'll give it a solid A. I like it because, Ghostbusters people say, or some people say that Ghostbusters was a horror film as well back in the day. I mean, I think it's like with Jaws. In its day, it might have been scarier, and then it tames over the years. But I think for this one, if they were trying to go with that whole entertaining but like teen horror kind of thrill, I'd say, yeah, there were definitely some inclusive jump scares in this film. But I think they worked. Like, they worked nicely, they weren't forced. And the designs, you know, the CGI and the fantasy elements for this, I have to admit, just chucking it in real quick before I finish, top notch. Like, I'm pretty sure the actor that plays, and this may be a bit of a spoiler, just saying, but I think the actor that plays, was it Spengler? I think he passed away in real life because we only get to see him in this film in a ghost form, but it was a very appropriate appearance from him. Absolutely fantastic. Works perfectly grand. I'm not going to ruin it anymore, because if you haven't seen this film, towards the end of the film is when he appears, but you'll see why, and yeah, I think you'll completely agree it was absolutely necessary, and it rounded everything off beautifully. So, well worth checking out. Yeah, I think that a lot of the other CGI stuff looks absolutely perfection. A little bit on the scary side. Pretty decent, not going to lie. But that was everything I had on this one, folks. So until next time, stay safe. Have a good day, night, evening, afternoon, or whatever the hell it is, wherever the hell you are. Movie Madness, Maka out.